Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to take a look at a new all-in-one camera transmitter antenna that I've fitted to my 105mm micro quadcopter. It's the Eachine EF-01. So this is an all-in-one CMOS camera. So the camera itself is fairly small. I believe there are smaller versions available. Comes with a lens cap just to protect the lens when it's not in use. It's got 150 degrees field of view and supposedly has 800 TVL or TV lines. The body of the camera is made of metal. That does potentially add a little bit of weight. On the back there are dip switches to actually change the frequencies. Also included in the box is the little power connector cable. The output power for the transmitter is supposedly 25 milliwatts, which is acceptable for what I'm going to be using this for. It may be slightly underpowered if you were going to be flying long distances with something like a model aircraft. The antenna that's on it is a right-hand circular polarized, and the specs say that it will operate between 3.6 volts and 5.5 volts, so perfect for single cell, which is obviously what the micro quadcopter uses. Okay, so let's see how heavy this is. It's 8.1 grams without the power cable and 8.6 with the power cable. So to actually fit the camera, what I've done is I've just popped the top off the frame. My old camera 5V converter and transmitter were all just taped into there with double-sided tape. They are still soldered in, so I've got my soldering iron on and we'll just pop them off. Giving them a quick weigh, they come in at 13.9 grams. So by the time we've added the new camera back in and the small plate, which I'll show you in a second, we're going to be saving probably around 5 grams. And whilst 5 grams doesn't sound a huge amount, that is more than 10% of the full quadcopter's weight. So what I've done is I've designed a tiny little plate. It just has 3 little sort of nodule bits on them. They just mate up with the frame and just add a little bit of support and just ensure that it fits properly. I'm then going to simply hot glue that in place and also with a dab of hot glue secure the camera onto that plate. The camera sits perfectly between the props, so there's no issue there. And it really only does need just a dab of hot glue to secure it in. Now we've got the plate on, I'm just going to solder the power cable that came with the camera directly onto the pads on the actual Ski Sky controller. So they'll take power directly from the battery. Obviously it's the black lead to the negative and the red lead to the positive. And again it's just a case of a little dab of hot glue to secure the camera in place. Trying to ensure you get it fairly in the middle. We'll give it a power on and give it a test. Just bring in my monitor here. Okay, that's set searching. And there we go, it's pretty much immediately picked up the feed from the camera. Excellent. So back for a reweigh. Now that the camera is properly attached to the quadcopter frame, everything's soldered in and it's basically ready to fly. Obviously with no battery on there, it's coming in at 39.8 grams. I wanted to just take a quick look at the hardware that I've removed. There's nothing fully wrong with the hardware. So as you can see, the leads for the camera are soldered onto the edge of the board. It's quite difficult to show you on the camera. But in any kind of crash, there were forces applied to them leads. They were fairly exposed, and I did have a few issues where the leads became detached. Whilst it is a fairly simple job just to reflow the solder and reattach them, it's not ideal. It does obviously mean that you can't fly FPV in the meantime. The pitch quality, stability and everything like that was perfectly fine with this. It's just the combined issue of the cables becoming detached and the weight saving. I thought it was a worthy upgrade. The picture quality of this camera and transmitter combination is perfectly fine. I haven't noticed any real benefit to the new camera. I haven't noticed any drastic picture improvement with the new camera. The reception seems to be on a par as well. They're both 25 milliwatt transmitters, You will see some static on the video, but that's purely because of the location where I'm flying from. I am quite a way around the back of the house, and there will be quite a lot of reflection for the video signal. The camera itself costs £20, which is roughly the same as the transmitter, camera and power converter that I used before. So it's not any more expensive, but equally it's not saving you any money. As you can see, my flying is slightly better. Not a lot, there's still plenty of crashing to be done, but it's all good fun. So there we go. That's the new camera. Definitely recommend it. If you haven't built one of these quadcopters yet, I would certainly suggest you go straight for this camera or an equivalent. If you have built one of these quadcopters and you're not experiencing problems, it's probably not worth the upgrade, but if you are experiencing problems, it is a cheap way to save a reasonable amount of weight and hopefully resolve some of your issues. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe and all that kind of YouTubey stuff. And we'll see you again shortly in the next video. Thank you very much.